A lot about what we're doing here in Robbinsville, and I want to start by just saying I'm really proud of our team. I'm proud of our staff, I'm proud of our MAPS group, I'm proud of our police officers, because they decided to think a little bit differently. And we have to think differently, right? Addiction is something that faces so many people in so many ways, and it's not just about drugs, it's about food, it's about cigarettes. There are so many of us who have faced addiction so many different ways. And the fact of the matter is, it's not immune. None of us are immune to this. Everyone thinks, well, it won't happen in my town. Wrong. It's happening in every town. Everyone thinks, well, it can't possibly happen in my family. Wrong. There are no families that are immune. It doesn't care about creed, color, wealth, nothing. It affects each and every one of us in so many ways. And what we have been trying to do here in Robbinsville is to try and do things differently. Because what we really want to do is we want to get people help. We want people willing to come out of the shadows. We want to get rid of the stigma. We want to be able to have conversations. That's how we're going to beat this disease. This disease lives well in the dark. And the more that we bring it into the light, the more that we have conversations, the more that we talk to our kids, to our family members, to our friends, the more that we realize that we have to help people beat this disease, that's how we're going to win. Right? We can't fight cancer or any other disease in the dark. We can't pretend it doesn't exist. We can't hide it in the shadows. We have to pull it into the light. And this drug isn't going to go quietly into the good night. We have to fight. And it's going to be different. We're going to tackle this differently than we've ever had to tackle anything before. And I get some guff, oftentimes from the other Republican mayors, and they're saying, you're a conservative, you're a Republican, what are you doing getting in front of this? And the fact of the matter is, it makes so much sense, not only because it's the right thing to do, not only because it's the only way we're going to win, but fiscally it makes sense. It is so much easier for us to get people into treatment than it is to put them in jail. They're going to get healthier. I think I lost my mic. They're going to get healthier. I got a loud mouth. They're going to get healthier, right? And they will if we win on this disease and if we start fighting it. We also can win because putting people in jail subjects these people to a lifetime of poverty. Why? Because they won't be able to get a good job once they have a felony conviction. So when we in Robbinsville pull people over, before we arrest them, we call it our care program. We want them to get help. We're trying to give them the opportunity to get help and to go into treatment so that they don't wind up subjected to a lifetime of poverty. Because if you get healthy and you turn your life around and you can't get a job, you're going to be depressed. And if you get depressed, we're going to send you right back to the cycle of where you started. So we want to be different. We want to be better. I am really, really proud of our police officers for being willing to actually think about it. Law enforcement, thinking about not arresting, but actually helping. That's exactly what we want. And the CARE program, which was started by Scott Kivett, has been moved now into other towns all across Mercer County. They're picking it up, and they're taking this idea, and we want to continue to run with it. And we want to continue to have these conversations. And when we think about these conversations and how we're going to do things, it's all about leadership. And we have great leadership in our police department with our chief. We have great leadership with Terry Gosling and our administrator. But we also have great leadership across Mercer County. And it starts from the top. And it really starts from our county prosecutor, who is a really interesting person. And for me, I get to actually introduce him here tonight. And I'm going to talk about him a little bit. Because, while he's interested in putting people in jail and keeping us safe, he really wants to help people. And I can say the one thing about him, instead of just telling people what to do, he is willing to roll up his sleeves and do it. And not just across in seminars. He actually goes into our schools, rolls up his sleeves, and talks to our kids all across Mercer County. He gets into the high school and has conversations with these kids because he knows if he starts there, that's how he's going to win this battle. It starts with our kids, and then we got to work our way up. And hopefully, at some point, when our kids start talking to us, that's when we're going to start winning. That's when we're going to start bringing this thing into the light. And I got to tell you, it is my absolute honor and privilege to be able to introduce somebody who I respect, and I think has showed leadership all across Mercer County, and that is our county prosecutor, Anthony Ann.